All right, we're live.
It was either Stephen King or Dave Coulier from Full House.
Why did you go with that one? Knowing
Dave
you.
Coulier, like, why didn't you go Dave Coulier?
All right, we got to talk about this. So sorry.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 269 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys, a weekly, sometimes podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. Welcome back to the table, guys.
Hey. So, okay. All right. So I need to go into this, Larry. So you had two options for the title of this for Happy Birthday.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, why did you go with Stephen King? Because considering the other one was a Full House person, and knowing you and the 80s sitcoms and 90s, I guess, right? Just what was the thought process that led you to go?
If I was a betting man, if I was a betting man, I said, if you said, hey, guess what? The choices are Stephen King. I said, or Dave Coulier. I would have lost that bet.
Yeah. I would have said, I would have lost me money. I would have Dave every single time.
Yeah. So I think, I was trying to come up with something stupid for the at least the temporary title. And I'm like, it's September, so I'm like, birthdays. I think Stephen King was at the top of the list, and he was the first one I saw, and I just thought Happy Birthday Stephen King sounded like a better title than Happy Birthday Dave Coulier. And also, you're gonna be mad about this one too, because it's also Bill Murray's birthday from Ghostbusters.
So
it's a pretty good birthday day.
Wait. So, because didn't Dave Coulier, wasn't he on the Ghostbusters cartoon too?
He was. He was one of the main, right? One of the voices of a Ghostbuster.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was Spengler, wasn't he?
I don't remember. Probably Venkman. I don't know. Scott's googling.
No, I gotta Google. He was Peter Venkman.
Well done.
That was the perfect.
They both played the same character,
and they have the same birthday. Whoa!
And you went with Stephen King.
Out.
Yeah. I don't even like Stephen King. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm flabbergasted at this point.
Like I said, in the world of betting odds, I said you would have lost me money, and I would have been upset.
Yeah. Like, see, I'm going against the grain. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess I was thinking Stephen King was a bigger name. I don't know. Kind of.
Yes, Stephen King's a chode.
Happy birthday, Stephen.
Happy birthday, Stephen King. Yeah, chode. But anyways, like I said, real quick, shout out to the chat. What's going on, Ed?
Hey. What's up, Ed? That means Jessica's nearby. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to audio listeners.
Shout out to Manny. Shout out to everybody.
Yep. I saw, real quick before I say that, I saw that it's been a week.
Oh, I was looking at the chat.
I know.
Scott's rusty.
It has been a little bit here.
It's been a week.
It's okay, Scott.
It was a curveball.
Yeah,
these sort of things happen.
I was started to go, and then I abruptly hit the brakes too. It's been a week or a couple weeks. I did see. I saw something that I made me happy this week because on the Instagrams because Jeremy sent Ed an autographed copy of that Patrick Stewart book. Because Ed's a big Star Trek fan, right? He's got the Star Trek Instagram from My Figure Universe, which is awesome. Lots of good Star Trek content every day, so he needed it. And I remember just a couple weeks ago in the chat, Ed was like, "Oh, like he was said something about like how he was sad that he missed out on that book or something like that." So I was glad to see Jeremy came through with the nice surprise to our friend Ed.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, always have to look out for random acts of kindness. Like I said, there's not enough of that in the world, And then there's some things that belong with certain people, and that belonged. I said with Ed, so happy to do it.
And not only does he have an autographed book, he already started to read it carefully. So that's cool too. Right? Like, to me, I think that would be, I'm just going to put it on the shelf. But like, Ed wanted to read the book. So that's awesome.
No problem at all, Ed.
I mean, the good thing with, like, I mean, as long as you're not like damaging the spine with a book, it's pretty easy, because usually, you know, it's that first signature page really that they sign, so you can be like, all right, let me just carefully get around that, and then you can read.
Yeah. Well, and we're adults, we can be right. We can take care of things good enough to not, you know, mess up the pages, rip the pages, or I don't know, get them all greasy with like pizza fingers or something.
Yeah. Get that nice thumbprint on there.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah.
Ed beat me. I said pizza fingers. Ed said Cheeto fingers was more appropriate. Well done. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just saw that. Like, I thought that was cool. I knew Jeremy probably was going to bring it up, but yeah, but that was shared on Jeremy's comics page, Comic Fury, which has an awesome giveaway going on right now where you can win that cool Ghost Rider comic book. So go check that out. I think it's up for a couple more days here.
Yeah, it's up till I said the 30th. So like I said, I said at the end of the month. First appearance of the Helverine, which was basically a fusion between Ghost Rider and Wolverine, which I thought originally was a very, very stupid concept. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, comics are running out of ideas. I said, just like the movies. But it actually ended up developing into actually a really good character. Like, I will eat my words. I said on this fusion of characters, because they basically dusted off, like I said, a whole bunch of I said characters that they had developed in the past. So Wolverine basically had a clone of himself, which was technically his brother, called Daken. And then Daken actually ended up getting imbued with the actual spirit of Ghost Rider. So like it actually developed a really, really good story. So I was actually quite surprised. So that value of that comic book is actually shot up. It's crazy for a book that just came out. I said within the last 9 months. It's already trending, you know, between like, you know, $70, $80, $100 a copy. I said for Raws, and then upwards of like $300. So I said for CGC 9.8s. Like, I was surprised. So
yeah, that's cool. That's a lot for, like you said, something that just came out. So
yeah. For modern book, as I said, it's a lot. But yeah, then I said shout out to a local comic shop. I said Austin Books and Comics. That always hooks me up with whatever. I said whatever I need. So like, so they had some nice copies set aside for me. I said when I found out that was coming out. I thought, cool. Like, hey, it might be a thing. Guess what? It was.
It was. It's cool. Like, Scott, have you seen it? Because like, right, it's the mashup, but like the Wolverine's got fire claws.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's really cool. I figured you did, but it was, I had no idea it was a thing. Yeah, it was really cool.
It's I do like the like the fire claws and the concept of you have. I mean Johnny Blaze, like, as the spirit of vengeance, right? Like Ghost Rider. First off, underrated comic book character, because everyone, you know, they talk about like the scale and scope of the power set of Ghost Rider is actually like unimaginable. Like, basically the Hellfire chains can wipe most anybody, like, just from touch. And then you have the fucking Penance Stare, which canonically in terms have actually been used on Galactus himself, depending on the comic, right? Whether or not it works on celestial beings. And then you have somebody that's aggressive, like one of the Wolverines, and to be able to have that kind of concept, love it. Love the idea. You have
very cool.
No,
literal universe-ending Wolverine.
It turned. I said this mashup. I said again. I'll eat my words. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be stupid. I'm like, because like there's been a few modern books like I said lately that it is. I'm like I just shake my head. I'm like, man, this is stupid. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what got me was the cover, because the cover is I'm like, okay, it's a pretty cool looking cover. And then I'm like, first appearance and a cool cover. I'm like, that's normally a sort of recipe for people want it. And so,
and two popular characters, right? Like Wolverine and Ghost Rider. So I mean, I
Yeah,
get that
so
it's
I'm
a
like,
little
you know what,
unexpected, but
I think
It
what I
makes
think, I
sense.
think comics were for $4 an issue. I'm like, for $4 an issue, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
why not? Just order a couple extra copies,
Get a couple,
just in case.
So, and it's one of the things,
Yes.
and Jeremy, I know you have bought comics for the cover alone, because I know I have.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, 100%.
of
it's
course.
just, right at that cost, you're like, okay, it's a cool cover, I'll get it.
No, I buy. Like I said, there's three. Like I was actually talking about this today with someone at the comic book store. Right, there's three different. Like styles as that I collect. Right, if it's a cool cover, if it's a cool series, or if it's something weird. Like I'm like, if it's something like said just completely off the wall and weird, I'm like, I'll like it. So like for example, like one of my favorite weird comics that I have, and I actually just found another issue of it today, and I'm actually going to pick up and probably sell it. But it's like I said, it's a Crystar, the Crystal Warrior #8, which is basically I said because they didn't think it was going to be popular, Danzig basically stole their logo. I said from Crystar, the Crystal Warrior #8.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe it's #8. Crystar. Yeah. Because
So, like,
it's
I don't know what their logo is. It's like a demon or a skull
Yeah,
looking
so it's-
thing, right?
so here is so it's #8. So let me give you a little history real quick.
Share that
right?
screen because I can't pick.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
I kind of picture the Danzig logo, but
application.
I am intrigued.
All right. So can you see my screen? Or
Boop.
oh, there you go.
Hey, I'm on the same page.
There we go. So yeah, so this logo right here, I said it's a very, very underrated, like not popular comic, I said whatsoever. And so what ended up happening, I said at the same point in time, I said the band Danzig was basically looking for a logo. So they actually ended up ripping this artist off. I said, and actually
like that little skull, yeah.
And basically,
Yeah.
it's stealing basically the logo from the skull from Crystar, the Crystal Warrior, to basically come up with basically the Danzig logo.
That's cool.
So like it is a weird piece of history. I said like, and it's a weird thing. But yeah, that's literally this is where Danzig basically got their logo from. Was basically from Crystar, the Crystal Warrior, which literally is a shitty comic. But it's I said it's a cool piece of history.
Yeah, very cool. Right. And like you said, I mean, some bands just form and then disappear, but other bands form
Danzig
and
has stuck around for a while.
rip off a logo and are around for 40 years or whatever it's been for Danzig. It's been a very long time. They were old when like I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
like it's got to be like 40 years, right? Like early 80s, if not before.
Yeah. So
Hey, and I'm proud of myself because like Demon Skull, I feel like that's an accurate representation of that logo. It is kind of like a demon looking skull. So.
No, exactly.
Totally nailed it.
Formed in 87.
87, yeah, okay. I would have guessed older than that, but
Yeah, because I thought they were like early 80s, late 70s. Like
I thought late.
Yeah.
I would have bet late 70s or like.
But yeah, so but that time frame makes sense though for basically so when that comic came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that now based on that.
Yeah,
makes sense, right?
Okay, but before Danzig, there was the Misfits.
Yeah.
Right. And Misfits was 1977.
Yeah.
So I think if you're doing like Glenn Danzig is probably what we were all thinking versus Glenn Danzig in the Misfits.
Yeah,
or in Danzig.
But even well, here's the thing. Like so, like here also the Misfits logo is ripped off. I forgot what it's ripped off from.
It's his MO. Hey, like it worked for us one time. Let's go back.
The Misfits logo was from
Crimson Ghost.
Yes, Crimson Ghost. That's what it is. So
it's Here, I got it.
Cool, you got it.
Blah. That skull look familiar to anybody?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
The Misfits.
It's literally the
skull.
same thing.
It's just the skull part.
They
of
just
this.
like Xerox copied it and made it right.
Just,
made it
they
their logo.
literally cut out the face.
Yeah.
And made that the
Yeah.
like, and they
Yeah.
literally did a shitty photocopy and was
Yeah.
like, there you go.
Yeah. Right. It's
So
and
yeah,
then-
it definitely is a what the I've actually never
I don't know much
you
about.
can watch it, you can just watch the full
Misfits.
movie on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Of
So
course you can. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
cool. That's why. It's because the Misfits were late
Yeah.
70s, and yes,
But
okay, it makes sense now.
I-
Danzig still
but
kind of
I
old.
never- it's still dance. So here's the thing though. I understand that Danzig is in both, right? Like Danzig and the Misfits,
Yeah,
but never actually, because the genres are vastly different between the two, right? I never actually associated them together at any point, even understanding that and knowing that they had the same singer.
I guess I did. What's
I-
Danzig? Is Danzig
It's-
the one with that song like "Mother,
Yeah.
tell your children
Mother,
not to
yeah.
walk my way"?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, like, and I guess growing up in the with punk rock, right? To me, it was Misfits. I knew of Danzig and some of the songs, but didn't really care about it. So I just assumed they've been around as long as something like Iron Maiden or some of those other groups that have been around since
Yeah,
the 70s,
which is-
right?
Which is fair. Yeah.
No,
I put them in the same
Ed points out
category.
Ed points out a good point. I said, what this teaches us is Glenn Danzig, I said, does not like or respect copyrights.
Yeah. No.
100% true statement, because he still denies that he didn't rip off either logo, and you could literally tell that they're the I said that the Misfits logo is Crimson Ghost, and the Danzig logo is the skull
That one. Okay.
from Crystar.
Yeah. There's no denying either of them. The Crimson Ghost one is just straight up
It is. It's
thing.
if
Like,
you put
at
one
least-
on top of the other, like they
It's
would
the
match perfectly.
There's no question there. The Danzig one only gets away because how often is that skull show? It's just on this cover, right?
It's
that
that's
skull
literally the
right?
only place
So
it appears
appears ever.
at all.
So they had to go through, and at least they're like, well, we had to cut out the lady that's on the front of that cover and like redo
There.
it. Or they
It's-
found the art.
They found that's
yeah.
it. They found
They
the
found-
art.
They found the
So-
art that they
So the way that cover was made, because the artist basically there's a whole like YouTube documentary on it. Like I said, highly recommend you go and search this out. I said if you have like 20 minutes, it's actually super interesting. The artist was basically saying, he's like, yeah, like I said, the back he drew the independent background, and then the way they actually used to lay out the covers, I said back in like 60s and like I said into the 80s and then even into the early 90s, is they used to use wax. So basically they had like basically layers, and they waxed the
image
different
background.
layers, and then utilize wax to basically attach the layers. So like if you ever see like old comic art where like some of the bubbles are like brown or things like that, it's because the wax is basically
it's
turned
old
color.
school transfer paper.
Mhm.
It's effectively
Exactly.
what it was,
Yeah.
right? Like it was old school
So
transfer paper.
they ripped off. So when that artist sold the cover to some random person, they basically took it apart.
And had
Be like
just the
this.
skull. They're like, we
Yep.
really like this skull.
Yeah, that's weird. Hey,
Oh.
whatever.
But
cool.
yes,
Fun,
so
fun
yes,
facts.
so like like the more you know. So like if you so like this again, that was a weird side head. Yeah, the third category, I collect weird stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, my number one hunt is to collect all the sales ads for the first appearance of Wolverine. I have 2 out of the
Cool.
3.
Oh, okay. Because so I knew there was the one. I think you might have talked about it on here, but you definitely told me about it in San Diego.
Yep.
I
I found
did-
one in
I
San
did-
Diego.
Yeah, I didn't know there was more than one. So that's
Yeah,
cool that you
there's
found
3.
another.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll track down number 3 for a good price.
So yeah, so it's in Daredevil 114, which is the one that's what I found in San Diego.
Yeah.
Thor 229, I said, which I found a few weeks ago. Actually, I said the Labor Day sale at the comic book store. Digging through some random boxes, and then Marvel Premiere number 19. That's the. I'm trying not to buy it just like straight up, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, like not go to eBay and
Yeah,
buy it. I'm sure there's 100 of them out there.
Yeah, there is.
It'd be nicer if you could find
I'm either
it,
trying to find it or basically trying to like trade. I said trade someone for it, like right. Just that way, it's not a like, hey, you might just go and buy it, like because that to me it lacks the challenge.
No, and it's not like you'll find it eventually, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not an urgent need.
Right.
Well, and it's weird, and it's not going anyplace because I said, like, it's again, right? It's something like who like
it's Marvel Premiere.
It's very it's very niche, like in regards to basically why someone would want it.
Yeah. You're looking at it for a literal page within that comic, not
it's not
for
even
the
a
comic.
page. It's literally
like a little
quarter of a page, or
little quarter of a page, right?
Yeah,
but you're looking for that page in that comic to have it, which it's what, number 19. So it's
Marvel Premiere 19. Yeah. So
it's what?
And I actually
just looked it up.
I actually did
Iron
post my
Fist?
story the other day that I was actually looking for. Marvel
and
Premiere
it's an Iron Fist. It's Iron Fist. No one's clamoring for Iron Fist comics.
Yeah.
So features Iron Fist.
Yeah, I did. That's the one that you posted on Instagram that you were looking for, right? Because I saw that. I did not understand the significance. I was curious. Like, it felt very random that you're like, I'm looking for this kind of random Iron Fist book.
Yeah, again, right? Like, so
I thought it was for somebody. I figured you were looking for it to give to somebody.
Some random super fan of Iron Fist, and that's the only one they can't find.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is literally like so. Like again, right? Like, I'm trying not to go and buy it. Again, right? It's not a super expensive. Like I can literally go on eBay right now and buy it for like I think like $20. But it's like one of those things I'm like, if I can trade someone something for it, or basically sort of interact with someone or find it in the wild or this, that, and the other, like I'd rather do that just so that way it has, like I said, it adds to basically the memory of like getting that specific book.
Yeah. When you go to enough comic conventions and the comic book store regularly, it's gonna turn up. Like it's not gonna be like a 5-year hunt. Like,
but that's gonna be one of the ones where you're gonna go through a lot of long boxes before you find it.
Don't like said that. Like trust me. Like the one I was telling Larry about. I said the Daredevil 114 that I found in San Diego. I've literally been hunting in the wild for that book for probably like I said like 2 years. Like again, right? It's not that you can't go and just buy it directly off eBay or buy it off of something. I've been trying to basically like I said hunt for it. I said for the last couple, like,
actually find it. Find it in person, IRL.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said, it's the story. Like to find an older random comic book at San Diego Comic-Con, like that's
exactly. I will always know where I got that issue from.
Exactly. It's cool. And there aren't that many comic books at San Diego Comic-Con.
No,
so the fact that one was there is pretty special.
Yeah, because the comics at Comic-Con, and unfortunately, it's a shrinking section of Comic-Con. Or
it's the best of the best.
Yes.
Right. Because you have a limited amount of space. You're only bringing your 181s.
Yeah. It's your money makers, right?
Yeah.
You're bringing the stuff that you think you can push. You're not bringing a bunch of boxes that you have with whatever sorting system, because every person who brings their boxes out has it in a different order. And you have to figure out like, okay, what am I looking for? Is this alphabetical? Is it alphabetical by character? Oh, it's by character. Okay, so
it's good. Hey Ed, I appreciate that, man. Like I say, if you find it, let me know. I will trade you something for it.
Yeah, it sounds like Ed's got a pretty solid comic book store over by him. So
we only have one decent one here. And I think that's what I'm missing. I said about like the Phoenix area. Like when I said there, like in the Phoenix area, I said there's a couple like just like shithole comic book stores, but they're good shit. But they're good shithole comic book stores. Like you don't want to go to the commercial like giant big boxy type of comic book store. Like honestly, that's the weird side tangent, right? I don't know if
we have no fucking topic.
Like my favorite comic book store, like I said, growing up, right? In Phoenix was off of Mesa Drive, like between Mesa Drive and Country Club on Southern. I said where that it said Larry, it's that where that Taco Bell is, kind of like by like Dobson High. right? I know you know what I know you passed this Taco Bell like 100 times just because it was like one of the old school Taco Bells. Like,
Oh yeah,
that
I know.
still
Yeah.
had like the purple and white, like I said thing. But in that shopping center, right next to a wig store, was this comic book store. But it's basically where either A, you went to go get comics, or B, as like a 13, 14-year-old, the guy would basically sell you porn. So like all the kids, like at school, would basically go and get their dirty magazines. I said from this,
Right.
just
From the
because
comic book guy.
like
Yeah.
you basically be digging through issues, and he's like, oh yeah, it's half price, cover price for all this stuff.
This is what you want, right?
This is what you want. Like, here you go. Like,
But in the 90s, like that was a big deal.
oh yeah,
It was
a big deal. Yeah,
right? The pre-internet days.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it has lost its significance now, but
yeah,
that
you
was a
didn't
big deal.
have the internet days, all right?
No,
Or you didn't have
no.
it didn't have. Well, it wasn't as prevalent, or like, right? You like no one had like their own computer. Like I said, in their own room. Like I said, you typically had a family computer, right?
Right,
Versus,
yeah.
like I said, like where you're
Yeah.
not going to be looking at stuff like that in the middle of the family room.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that I said that's how we found this guy. But then I said my friend ended up, like I said, taking me to the store because he's like, yeah, we can go get this there. I'm like, okay. But then I found, I'm like, whoa, you got some really decent comic books. So like a good chunk of my collection is actually from this dude's store. Like, and where I've cleaned and pressed and worked on those books, like I said, like over the past, like I said, years. Just because, like I said, he used to smoke in the store. Like it was, it was basically, this dude shouldn't have been around kids. Like, and honestly, like I said, as kids, we probably shouldn't have been going into the store, like I said, by ourselves. Like,
Are you sure it was a comic book store or was
Oh,
it
it
an
was-
adult
it was a
store
comic
that
book.
just
there was
happens
like
to
no
sell
organization. He literally sat in the back room, and then, like I said, it was a very, very small store. It was floor to ceiling, basically short boxes, like I said, and then there's a set of tables in the middle, and then short boxes all on the tables, and then there was a back room to where, like I said, on one side it was basically said all like the adult stuff, and then on the other side it was like, hey, the discount comic books. So the discount comic books were actually right next to all the adult
the adult stuff.
yeah, but it was I said it was a good store. I'm like I miss a store like that where I'm like, you know what, you go in, you feel dirty just digging through the boxes.
Immediately you're like,
But you
regret
find
your
some
decision.
gold.
Yeah. It's one of the stores where you walk in, you're like, I shouldn't actually be in here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you guys this is a very Phoenix story. Did you ever go to a store in downtown Glendale? Like early 2000s. It was like a toy store, a decent sized toy store. But this was like me and my friend Eric talked about this not that long ago. It was like a gem before the gems. Right? It had walls of packaged like 90s action figures, like the Ninja Turtles, like Captain Planet, like Power Rangers, like stuff that wasn't very popular in like 2001.
But wasn't our
like
childhood.
yeah, but it's like super popular now. Like they literally had all these packaged toys, but they also had like a section of vintage Playboys, which is reminds me a little bit of Jeremy's comic book store. But yeah, like this toy store was just so cool that if it existed now, you're literally talking like probably $1 million worth of merchandise. But then it was like, you know,
Nothing.
a $10 Street Sharks.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff that nobody cared about in, you know,
like
2001.
it's like you talk about the value, right? Like, so like in this crappy like hole in the wall comic book store, I remember just seeing like all these like key issues, and they were just specifically some of them weren't even bagged and boarded. They were just like said in boxes.
Loose. Yeah.
And then like some of those, like some of the key issues that I actually have today are actually from that store, where I just like I've had them forever, and I didn't pick them up for like any money, like hardly any money.
Yeah.
And then because we always used to, like I said, we always used to hit that store and then go to Bookman's off of Country Club, because Bookman's actually had, I said, a really, really good comic book section where like their comics were half off cover price. So whatever, that's before basically people pulled out, basically started looking basically like, hey, this is valuable. We should lock this away in a special case.
Yeah, you mean the employees, right?
Yeah,
at
exactly.
Bookman's. Yeah, they'd get in collections. and now, they look everything up on eBay or whatever.
But
there's no
so
deals.
Then, I remember
You're not getting
there's
anything good.
a whole bunch of like 12-cent Batman and Action Comics and stuff like this. But it was half price covers, so I'd pay 6 cents, like I said, for some of these books. I'm like, anyway, I'm like, these are great. So you basically ride the bus. Like I said, we're like 13, 14 years old. We'd ride the city bus to go to the crappy store to basically get all the other stuff there, and then go to Bookman's. I said there's a couple of bus stops down, and then basically just stock up on a whole bunch of books, and then for the entire day for like $10, like I said, you would walk away with like stacks of comics.
That's awesome. Yeah, the good old days when you could find good stuff like that at a store like Bookman's or
Not happening now.
No.
The internet ruined that, right? The ability to actually quickly look up and, to your point, go on eBay and see like, what is this selling for? Oh, that's a lot. No, I don't put that out in the store. Like,
or you do, but instead of putting it in the dollar box, you put you're like, oh, it was $100. You put it like $60, or like in some cases they look it up and it's like, oh, $100. Let's sell it for $150. Bookman's is that kind of store where they're like, like, I don't care that you can buy it online for $100. We're going to charge you 50% more just because we can.
Yeah.
Oh, Bookman's. They used to be so good, but then they just turned out to be so horrible.
Yeah, I was over there the other day. I didn't go inside, but I drove past Bookman's. Like, I don't hang out in that part of Mesa very often, but I took the long way to the P-Lander Z concert in Tempe. But I drove by Bookman's.
What's the new color?
So, okay. So real quick, history of P-Lander Z, right? So P-Lander Yellow is the main guy, lead singer, right? They're, I believe they have described themselves as Japanese comic action punk. But like each of the members has like a color, right? So yellow, pink happens to be Yellow's wife. Purple was there too, but when I lived in Austin, you may remember that I went to Purple's going away party. Like, he left the band and moved back to Japan. So like, I've seen literally every combination of this band possible. I've seen Yellow by himself. I've seen Yellow and Pink by themselves playing. I've seen like Yellow and like green, purple.
When the drummer, it was red when we saw him, right?
Red, yeah. There's a P-Lander red too, but this time, it was green and yellow only. Like, again, like, there's no pink. I don't know where pink was. I didn't ask. Just in case there was like purple in paradise or something. Like I don't want to be like, hey, so where's like, I don't want to be that guy. So it was green and yellow only. It was a different concert. They usually play the same set just about, which they did this time with a slight variation, but like, it's also very interactive, which is awesome when there's 3 or 4 people in the band. When there's 2, a lot of the interactions aren't quite the same, so they don't really do a whole lot. So it was different.
Just when you say interactions, like at one point, so Larry and I went with Larry to a concert. Like,
before you moved,
before
when we lived here,
when we lived in Phoenix, right? And I'll say this, like Larry, you find me some weird, and to Jeremy's point, you like weird comic book covers. Larry and I really like weird fucking music, right? Yeah. You find me a weird band or that has like a niche little thing about it, I'm in. 100%, I'm all in. P-Lander Z hit that niche very hard.
Absolutely, yeah. So like, I don't go out for a lot of stuff anymore, but
did they hand out the tambourines?
They did.
Okay.
They did. Yeah,
so when he says like interactive, like when we went, they hand out tambourines and have everyone run in a circle and like shake the tambourine.
It is much more abbreviated though, the fan interaction, which is fine. Like,
Jeremy, you have not been to one of these. Dude. I will find one here in Austin because they're still here.
Listen, you got to take me to that, and then I got to take you to Max Sabbath.
Yeah, I want Matt. Yeah,
because I've seen Max Sabbath a couple times, and I said
another fun one. Yeah, one that's on the bucket list.
Funny enough, Max Sabbath or P-Lander Z is opening for Max Sabbath on part of this tour that they're on.
What?
Max Sabbath was not in Phoenix, but they are together for various dates.
Max Sabbath is
tonight somewhere.
Yeah.
Max Sabbath is like I said, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're together on the. I think the tour wraps up in Austin in a couple weeks. I'm not sure if Max Sabbath is there too, but there's a greater than 0% chance.
So Larry, you mentioned like, hey, you don't go out a ton, and so was the concert midweek?
No, it was a Sunday.
Okay,
so kind of.
Yeah.
So kind of So it was a school night, right? Like
yeah.
Because I was joking. I said the other day, I'm like, because I went to a concert this week too.
I saw that. But,
so
like on a Tuesday or something.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Mark your calendar, Jeremy. November 16th. We have to go down to.
I'm out of the country.
Oh, you are. Damn it.
Yeah.
Guar's coming to San Antonio with two bands. I have no idea who these are, but before you get into your show, I just need to say it. So the people opening for them are Dark Funeral. No idea who that is. And the lovely band Squid Pisser.
Okay.
Sounds amazing.
It's probably not entirely horrible.
No, those that would be fun. But yeah, anyways, Jeremy, continue your concept.
But anyways, yeah. So
who'd you say?
Like young me, right, was thought like, hey, you know what? I want to go out to this concert. So the concert was Marilyn Manson. I said, and Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay. Cool.
So like I've seen Five Finger Death Punch like sort of a few different times. So they were on the Metallica show that I went to. I said back in May.
Right.
And then I saw him. I said last year as well. But I haven't seen Marilyn Manson. Like I said, I went to the concert specifically for Marilyn Manson because I'm like I haven't seen Marilyn Manson in like 20 years. First and foremost, dude still has it. Like he put on a great show. That and he lost a whole bunch of weight, so he's not fat anymore. So which was
he's not
good for him.
Chubby Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. So he's not. He's not Manson XL anymore. He's just
regular.
But no, like he put on. I said super great show. But then like young me thought like I don't need to take a day off. I said after the concert, I'll be fine. Dude, I was paying for that for 2 days. I'm like old me, basically like my knees hurt from standing up. And this, that, and the other. I'm like that, and it was hot, and I'm like because it was outside. I'm like I was miserable, and I'm like never. I'm like unless it's either A, inside, B, ends like 2 hours earlier than what it did. Like I said, or not on a weekend. It ain't happening anymore.
I have some real bad news. P. Landersy tour ends back in Austin, but it's on 10/4. Jeremy, you and I will be out of the country.
So Scott, speaking of bands, another band. Unfortunately, we're out of the country. We're out as well. CKY is coming back.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
CKY is they're playing at Come and Take It.
Huh.
So I'm like,
damn, I would have liked to go see that.
It popped up on an ad. I'm like, what? I'm like, they're still together?
Yeah, I haven't thought about them in forever.
Yeah, so CKY is coming, and then another band that I haven't thought of in a long time that's also coming is Stabbing Westward.
Wow, that is definitely some just deep cut.
Oh yeah,
thing coming back. CKY with all the drama around like the Jackass stuff. I'm surprised they're coming back.
Yeah, I was literally shocked to see like, oh yeah, they're come see CKY.
And Ed brings up Ween. I'm very familiar with Ween, Ed. So
is it like I don't know who Jess Margera is, but is that like Bam's sister?
No, that's
brother.
I think
it's brother, cousin, something like that. But yeah, they are related to Bam. That's
Bam.
why there's like a lot.
Like it's Jesse. Okay, his name's Jesse. Yeah, all right.
It's his brother or cousin. They're related, and that's why there's a lot of CKY music in the early episodes of Jackass. And they even called the early Jackass formed between two different kind of groups that came together to make the Jackass stuff, right? You had Johnny Knoxville and his group, and then you had Bam Margera and his kind of friends group that all came together, and Bam's group, they called their videos CKY, like
CKY2K.
Yeah, CKY2K. Yeah. So it was all because it was them, that band, everything. So there was a lot of.
Were they like skate videos?
No, there was skating in the CKY2K, but it was basically proto Jackass at the time. Like if you watch that video, there's a lot of poop. There's a lot of of the stunts and things that you saw in Jackass.
Yeah, the original basically said poop on the window is from a CKY video.
The poop on the window is the thing, and that's the one where a guy, I shit you not, right, to go through there. One of the scenes that still sticks with me to this day is a dude poops, wipes, and then runs to one of their friends who is sleeping and sticks the dirty toilet paper to their face and yells like "Happy birthday," and then tries to take off running from that. So it is prototype Jackass if you watch the CKY films. CKY2K was the official release, but they did other videos and
there's like 3 or 4 of them,
and
DVDs
and stuff. And then there's the band CKY.
Okay,
but I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm like I just remember sort of rocking out. I said to the CKY2K soundtrack.
Because come on, everyone knows 96 Quite Bitter Beings.
Yep,
I hear that riff.
But then, like I said, that's what popularized basically said Rammstein's Du Hast, because I said it opened up. I said with Du Hast. I said it's in the video. Man, I kind of want to watch that. I haven't seen that forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break out some of the videos there.
It's got to be online. If it's not on YouTube, it's got to be somewhere. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I clearly never watched that. But I knew it existed. I just remember being related to Bam Margera somehow. Either he wore t-shirts or something. So that's cool. I'm glad they're back and making some money.
Everyone's gonna.
I think that was probably it. Hey guys, we can go on tour because we can make a little bit of money.
Well, that's why. Marilyn Manson, that's what was back, because I think he was getting sued by somebody.
Okay.
And then that's hey, guess what? It's time to go back on the road and make some music. But
sell some t-shirts. Sell some $60 t-shirts.
Well, I saw. Hey, they weren't $60. They were $50.
Oh, okay. I saw. It was a picture of the Weezer merch booth that had I believe it was $60 t-shirts and $115 hoodies.
That is bananas.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Things have changed since, mid 90s Weezer.
Oh, Ed brings up, he's like his son breathes CKY in him. Yeah. Oh, him. I said, everyone said, the heart tattoo. Like I said, everyone basically said one, and that's the heartogram.
Yeah. I remember that too. Not a fan. That was not my scene. But I remember those being things. Go see Weezer, wear a Pearl Jam shirt. I was thinking about seeing Weezer, but they're playing the baseball stadium. They're coming here, and upper deck tickets were $20 because my wife was looking, and she's like, "We can go see Weezer for $20." I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just the thought of going to the baseball stadium and fighting traffic and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's really cheap. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
you sound like me. Because old man concert.
Yeah. It's probably a weekday. I don't know.
Well, it's I don't want to fight all that traffic. Concert day on Wednesday. I think it was 1 or 2 songs left. I'm like, let's actually take off. I want to beat the traffic.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Yeah, it's definitely the thing where you realize shit, we're getting old.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm no longer going to be 40. I'm going to be in my 40s, and it's kind of
the same. And that's why even though it was a Sunday night sort of weekend still, yeah, like there's very few things that I want to go out for, but like I really like P-Lander Z, and like Scott mentioned, you're right there in Austin, and like I went to like a painting thing at the coffee shop when I lived in Austin to see P-Lander Yellow. I'm like I'm barely into this at this point. Like
I'm with it.
Yeah, I felt an obligation to go support this little band I like, and buy a new T-shirt.
I feel like if you go out of the way to go to a concert or to an event, you've become a true fan. Like Larry, I know you and we went to Caro Bonito, another weird fusion band of things. We went and saw them live for a show, but I know for a fact that you drove to another city to go to a concert a different time, which puts you a true fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Forgot about that. Because I was just thinking, like, I'm really glad Scott and I went and saw Caro Bonito, because like they haven't toured again. I'm not even sure they're a band anymore. But yeah, you're right. I saw them in Tucson too.
Yeah.
Right, Tucson Comic-Con plus concert. That was a long
while
day too, man. I'm pretty sure I drove home after that too, like the 2-hour drive back to Phoenix.
You're like, damn, this sucks. Yeah,
I would not. That was 30s me. Like 40s me, probably not. Yeah. At a minimum, I'd spend the night in Tucson. I'll spend
get a hotel.
I'll spend $120 to stay at the residence in Marriott. Like that's fine, rather than drive home the same night. My God. Yeah. So like,
okay. Can I just add something, Jeremy? You talk about going home early and things like that. The last time I was going to go to a concert, I seriously considered being like, I should bring some like just little earplugs going to the concert. And I was like, oh man, I'm an old man now. I was like, I've thought about earplugs at the concert. I'm old.
Oh, that's like honestly, like I said, I've done that. I did that at Metallica just because I said we were really close. I said to the stage, like I said at Metallica, we were maybe like there was the pit, and then we were 3 rows. I said back from from the pit. But then like the Metallica concert, I appreciated because it was a 2-day concert, right? But then they split it up over 3 days. It was a 2-day concert that they split up over 3 days. So there was a break day in between. I'm like, old man me loves this. I'm like, wait, I could actually recover a day,
recovery day,
and then go
back out for round 2. Yeah. Do you guys remember like getting home at 3:00 in the morning after a concert or whatever, and like your parents are asleep and it's quiet, but your ears are like buzzing? Like I think I missed that. I'm not sure.
I remember, like I said, I had some very vivid concert memories of I remember getting out of Rob Zombie at Mesa Amphitheater at 2:30 in the morning to 3, maybe it was even 3:00 in the morning, because he did the show. But it was also the time he was basically releasing House of a Thousand Corpses, and so he's like, "Hey, you know what? Do you want to stay around and watch the movie before this was like 2 months before it even came out?"
Nice.
And so basically, really cool. He did the entire concert. I said, and the concert ended at like 11 or 12. Like it was like a super late concert. I was like kind of shocked on how long it was. But then he screened the movie. I said to the entire concert attendees, and then got out of the parking lot, 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, man, you're hungry. And so like, where do you go?
That's what I was just.
The 24-hour Filibertos.
Yeah. 24-hour Filibertos.
Or breakfast. Like, all right, there's plenty of post-concert Denny's trips, or Waffle House as well. Like that's where my mind went. Was I remember going to right? Like, it's 1:30 in the morning or something.
IHOP or whatever. Yeah,
right. It's late already. You're on the wrong side of town. Like you got an hour drive, but you're hungry. So you go. See, you got to get something to eat.
That was the opposite for me. When I was living in Tucson, the Denny's was always the trip back from the coming up from Mexico when you were under 21. So you go down there to drink and then come back up, and you'd stop by the Denny's on the way back in, soak up all that alcohol.
Yeah. Same idea, right? Denny's at
2:00
in the morning.
I said depending on where I was, I said I had a spot for everything, right? So like there was this other bar that we always used to go to, like this like dive place. called the Old Brass Rail. Like it was like sort of off of like McDowell, like 7th Street. Like it was in the freaking hood.
Yeah, not the best neighborhood.
Yeah, and then so like I said, like right down right down the street was the Jack in the Box, and so that was basically like
That too, yeah.
the 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning Jack in the Box tacos, where like they taste like absolute shit. But at that point in time, they're the most amazing thing in the entire world is the Jack in the Box taco.
Yeah. And you're completely okay with pulling up to the Jack in the Box drive-through because you can't go inside because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But you're completely okay with waiting like 30 minutes in the drive-through line because that's what everybody else is doing too.
Yes,
I remember those days. Like whatever. Like I'm just gonna wait. Like my God, I would not do that now.
No.
Yeah, and then I remember
there's more than 4 cars in that parking.
No,
I'm out.
Well, and then like I said, because it was in a sketchy area, right? And then like I said, everyone was. I said went to the Jack in the Box. I remember getting propositioned to basically buy illegal firearms. I said in the Jack in the Box parking lot. I said if I wanted to basically buy like I said the equivalent of like a Mac 10. I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you, appreciate it though.
I just want some tacos.
That's funny. Yeah. Just want my tacos and ultimate cheeseburger.
There you go.
That was the combo. There's the ultimate cheeseburger and the tacos.
It's a lot of food.
There's your new title: ultimate cheeseburger and some tacos.
Yeah, ultimate cheeseburger and tacos.
Yeah. No, good times, man. Like food tastes better. It's proven fact. Food tastes better after 2 a.m.
It does.
I'm never
because if
I
you
will probably never do this
theory
again. But yeah,
here's my theory on this: is if you could stay up to that point in time, your body is half shut down at that point after a concert too. So
not when you're 20 though. Like when
even when you're 20 af're a concert.
No, you're still buzzing.
You're still buzzing, but like
I was still going, man. Like adrenaline and that you're right. Your ears are ringing. You got some adrenaline still, right? You get back in the car and you turn up the radio too loud and you drive with the windows down at night because it's Phoenix.
And then you got to be really careful because you don't want to get pulled over. Like.
That too, yeah, because you're the only car around it.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday,
the only concert that I've been to, and I've done this a couple of times, so I will say that it's happened, is whenever Warped Tour comes to town, or you have those day festivals. Because I used to have buddies that had bands that were in there, and I would help them with stuff. You know, Champs band and stuff. Greeley Estates back in the day, right? Would go and help them set up all their sound equipment and stuff, and
Warped Tour at Schnepp Farms.
Yep,
like
like that, or when it was up in Peoria, on the baseball, that little like the training stadium, and there's absolutely no shade, and it's 110 outside when that thing goes on. I remember going to one of them and watching people just drop.
Ozfest was in Avondale.
Yeah, you just watch people fucking drop.
The radio stations like Edge Fest, they were at the Peoria Sports Complex too, and that was close to where I lived, so those were easy to get to. But yeah, those I mean, Warped Tour is awesome, but my God,
they were bad.
It was in like June, and it's 110 degrees outside. Like, what was
that? Was one where you went? I went straight home after that. Like after Warped Tour, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, right. Because you get there at like noon because you want to see the early bands because you love Guttermouth, and Guttermouth goes on at 2 p.m. Like this is a true story. And like I remember getting there super early because I wanted to see Guttermouth.
I think you and I are talking about the same Warped Tour then, because I remember that. I remember
it was based on the people I know I went to that one with. It was probably like 2003, 2004.
I think it was. I wasn't in college yet, so it was 2002.
That could be, yeah.
And then you go and then did you buy your tickets? I said at Tower Records.
Probably or Dillard's.
So
I
went
to the mall.
I got mine at the
Tower
mall
Records. I said that was right next to the Fuddruckers, or I said right outside of Fiesta Mall. I said on the back side.
Yeah.
So that's where I always end up actually buying my concert tickets at. I said it was at Tower Records. It was right there.
I definitely remember Dillard's more than Tower Records or anything like that. Like I remember that little weird room in the back corner of Dillard's that sometimes there'd be a line in, and you had to wait for Grandma to buy her Kenny Chesney tickets or something, and like I just want my
the concert ticket booth at the department store was a trip. The fact that they did that, because they weren't like JCPenney that had like the photo studio and tire center back there. It was Dillard's, and
Yeah, like that's all Dillard's had. Like Sears had the tools and
I kind of like here's we're talking about. I
It's
kind of
good
miss
time.
those times. I kind of miss I kind of miss pre-internet days. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like so
Oh,
some
yeah.
like some things were just like way simpler. Like I said, and I think we take for granted a lot of the stuff that we can do
Well,
today.
think-
But I kind of liked some of those memories of like hey, getting up and trying to be getting I said in line to make sure that you can get the tickets. I said that before they sold out.
It's a
Here's-
lost art.
Look at like modern day tickets, trying to get to like popular bands or popular artists and things right now, right? Where you have where a bot basically to the point of the thing is like you back in the day, you would go to like dealers and there was at least a decent chance that you were able to get tickets to a popular show. I remember like sold out one that I tried to get to was the Pop Destruction Tour. We got it like nosebleeds, but I was able to get it at Dillard's, right, and get my tickets. Nowadays, you're trying to get something like Blink 180, even like Blink 182,
Oh
like
God, yeah.
it sells out pretty quick.
For the
to
good
point where
seats, yeah.
you need pre-sale and all this shit. And then even then, some of the pre-sales like we're going to open up pre-sale to more people than we have space for. So your concert's sold out by the time pre-sale's done.
Well, that and then I said the new added convenience fees. So because I said I'm buying it online, it's like I don't know, it's all electronic now.
Now it costs more than
here's $60 in fees.
Yeah,
including like mobile ticket delivery fee. That's the only option.
It's like eBay.
Right?
It's like
Or,
you're charging me $7 to email me that ticket?
Like what? Like what? Because I have no other option. Like okay, or I guess you could print out the piece of paper, but like no, like nobody's doing that. Yeah, no, I miss. Oh, that reminds me of something really cool. Give me like 2 seconds to find it. But like I miss ticket stubs.
Oh, yes,
right. Like ticket stubs were really cool.
I used to collect them. Like,
yeah,
I had a box, like a cigar box of like old ticket stubs.
I have a few somewhere. I have no idea where they all went, but I do have a couple hanging around.
If I went to a comedy show or a sports event or like anything else, like I said, or movie, like I said, literally, I had a box just full of like stubs to stuff.
Yeah, same. Right. It was really cool. Like that was what you did. Like you saved those things. And that was right. That was your memory. Like same with the movies too, but the concert ones were always special. So I found this recently. There's this company that makes random trading cards, called Gas Trading Cards, right? GAS, but they make event specific trading cards for bands. So like this one is for the Smashing Pumpkins on August 1st, 2023 at the Usana Amphitheater in some city I can't read. And on the back, it's in Utah. It's got the set list. I'm like, I thought this was a really cool idea, right?
That is a cool thing to get.
Yeah, it's
to replace the ticket stub.
Exactly. It's got the date. It's got cool art, and each of them is different. So like this is the one right for the Utah show, the Phoenix show, or the Austin show would have its own art too. And then like I feel like this is just like a genius idea, because then you just you got your stack of trading cards. It's kind of like a ticket stub, but almost a little bit cooler because it's got cool art on it. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you guys about that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Going to do that. Like
start buying these things 100%.
Yeah, like they don't have them for everything. I saw like Smashing Pumpkins was just here, and I think I saw an ad for the Smashing Pumpkins.
I'm looking. Oh my god, this company is genius.
I just bought an M&M trading card from them.
Check this. Check this out.
I'm not sure where you're going. But I'm interested because I know some of the stuff they got.
So the viral
they got one of the hippo.
The hippo, yeah.
The baby hippo.
Yeah. That's very much their MO is the weird stuff. They like when Trump got shot, right? The assassination, he had the bloody ear. They made a trading card of that. And they're typically like, so they'll do a couple things. They'll do like an open release, but then they'll do foil versions that are limited to like 100, and those ones sell out really fast. So you can get the basic one if you want, but if you want a fancy one, you got to move quick. And the biggest one they did that just got shipped was they had M&M, right? They had these Slim Shady cards. with a chance at getting
Is that
autographs.
Red Hot Chili Peppers up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
right. Sublime. Yeah, like it's really cool. But anyway, they had autographs from Eminem himself, which ended up being quite popular. I bought a pack of 5. I did not get an Eminem autograph or a parallel, but that's okay. But yeah, they're ridiculous. But the concert ones, right? I think it's a really cool
That's a good
idea, and
idea.
I hope it catches on.
Yeah.
Like, right, smaller bands would never have it, but if you go see like Metallica should have those.
Yeah.
Like that would be really cool.
That's a really good idea. I like
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like I would literally buy them for every show. Except if
If they had one for every show,
I would buy them for. I would
Yeah.
100% buy this.
Yeah, I agree. Like that, it's really cool. They're
Thanks
just
for making me
not
spend
very
money,
popular
Larry.
yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. Well, you gotta go. You gotta go out, and then
Yeah.
like you know, if you're gonna go see Luke Combs, Scott, they got Luke
Oh,
Combs
I
cards.
it's on my list.
20 $20. Not too bad.
All
All right.
Well,
So
Larry,
anyway,
do your
I
thing.
don't know. Like follow us on the social medias, and I don't know what else we say at this time.
Stop.
but
I feel
just
I feel bad.
how about
hitting
you
this
just click
button.
some
I
buttons.
feel bad clicking this button for that, but
Show him like a villain.
Ding 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 diggy ding ding. Ding 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 diggy ding ding.
And it's the best.
Da, da, da.
just because
I don't have friends. I got family.
If you made it this far, you
you knew that was coming.
knew garbage time was coming. Good talk.
All right, Jeremy, do
Hey,
your thing.
hey, you know what? Like I said, this is a great episode.
Absolutely.
This is a great episode. Honestly, it's
Can you tell we didn't prepare anything for it?
this is actually probably what's up there with one of my all-time favorites. Like, I don't
It's
know.
a good random no
It's a good
plan.
random discussion about dumb
yeah,
shit.
right.
Yes.
5 stars from the chat.
Hey,
Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I mean, I did watch Agatha, whatever that the Marvel show is. That's out. We could have talked about that, but no,
Yeah, I haven't.
This
seen
was funner.
it. Yeah, this is better.
it's not that great.
All right. So
Yeah.
for episode 269, Ultimate Cheeseburgers and Tacos.
Happy
I
birthday,
appreciate it.
Stephen King. Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.